People seen it, but they just don't know.
What I told you, Cutter.
People seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they just don't know. People,
Let's go.
people seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon. We're here on 910 Sports once again. So first and foremost, I just want to thank God for this opportunity to be able to come on this great platform once again. Because, it's a lot going on, a lot of people losing their lives, and God gave us another chance to get it right. So I want to introduce my right-hand man, your baby mama's favorite host, Mr. Barry White Jr. himself. He's also, a lot of people that don't know, he's also a college recruiter himself on the JUCO level. So y'all need to holler at him if you're a sports head or if you got a child or, or whatever, nephew or niece or somebody that's looking to get into sports and they're looking to get into a program. So he can definitely help you on that level. And my man, Jacob the Great, what's going on, fam?
Hey man, glad to be on this side of the dirt, bro. A day you get another chance, a chance and a choice, another day to get it all the way right. You know what I mean? And while we getting it right, we got to inspire somebody else so we can help them get it right too, man. So I'm grateful.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and introduce this young man so we can get this thing cracking. Get
All
him
right,
his
man. Without further ado, we have Coach Leo Hunt, man, out of Texas, man. Trinity Valley Community College, man, and just glad to have him back again, man. We had him on last year, man, so I know a lot has transpired since last year because programs grow year after year. So welcome back to the show.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, man. I really do appreciate y'all.
Good. So, Coach, man, upon from what you've seen, I want to talk about this a little further because I had a kid to call me and he said, Mr. Jacob. I said, yes, young man, what's going on? He said, we feel some type of way about this NIL. I said, how so? He said, college students that's already been playing ball, they get to transfer 2 and 3 times. And we feel like it knocked us high schoolers out, four-star, 5-star high schoolers out, that's, scholars and athletes that's trying to play a collegiate level. We feel like we get pushed to the side in a lot of cases. So, Coach, I have you on here tonight. So I wanted to have your intake on that, and what do you feel about that when students say that?
To be honest with you, Jacob, it's the transfer portal, NIL, and all that stuff. It's a different day and age in college football. Rightfully so. The kids, deserve their due. They deserve to be able to go wherever they want to go. But I also think that it kind of holds the kids back from being accountable. It holds them back from, learning things such as being loyal, such as going to go have to grind for everything. Like now, you got the quarterback at USC. He's pretty much holding the NFL by the reins because he can either go to the league or he can go back to USC and go make, $2-3 million. So I think that I think that it has hurt high school recruiting. I don't think that it hurts the higher scale kids, the top 5 in their position, the top 5 quarterbacks coming out of high school, like they're not being affected from it. The top 5 running backs in high school, they're not being affected. It's those guys that are group of 5 guys to FCS level guys that are kind of being held back from the recruiting scene of being able to get something bigger. And that's strictly due to the fact of, it's also hurting us coaches too, because now as a football coach, you don't have enough time to be able to develop, or those coaches don't have enough time to be able to develop a high school kid and be able to have him ready to go year 1 or possibly year 2. And a lot of these coaches, in my opinion, and I think that I think the best demonstration of it is Mike Tomlin. Like Mike Tomlin says, I ain't gonna run away from coaching. You know what I'm saying? And I think that just a lot of these coaches, you know, they don't want the hassle of building the kid from the ground up, building the kid from ground zero, and then having him be ready to play in year 2 and 3. And then also, I think that comes from, you know, the field that we're in. You don't win ball games, you ain't employed. You know, and I think that's how some coaches are thinking. So they're going to the transfer portal and going the JUCO route and trying to get guys that can play right now that have already been developed. You know, it's just a shame because somebody else gets to do a job for a coach that he didn't want to do in the first place, and that's develop a player. But yes, to answer your question, I think that it is hurting kids, but not as much as what people think. It's just hurting those guys that are that mid-level, lower tier type of kid that could potentially bounce into an FCS program or bounce into an FBS program. Those kids are now going JUCO. And I think that everybody just has this bad connotation of JUCO. You know, everybody wants to look at JUCO in a bad way. To be honest with you, like we had 31 guys have Division I offers. So, you know what I'm saying? If you wanna go play Division I ball, if you feel like the transfer portal is hurting you, go find you a JUCO and go find out how that other side lives. Because I can tell you one thing, those big time schools, it ain't hurting JUCO recruiting not one bit.
Oh no, actually, it's kind of
It's
helping
high
them,
school.
but you know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna blame high school coaches for this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna blame them from when I was in school, from you know some of my younger cousins, even some of my little cousins that's in school now. They don't tell these kids about JUCO, or they don't
Mm-hmm.
say that you're getting recruited about JUCO in Mississippi or JUCO in Texas or a JUCO in Florida or JUCO in Tennessee. They don't tell because man, it's tons of JUCO schools all across the nation, man. And
Yes, sir.
heck, and I know for a fact in the little small town South Carolina I'm from, had a lot of these guys knew about JUCO then. When I was coming up through the ranks, a lot of these guys would have went and played ball. You know,
Yes,
for
sir.
for sure, for sure. So why do you think that these coaches don't want to tell these kids about JUCO? If you're not a 4 or 5 star athlete in high school, then that don't mean that you can't play JUCO ball. So
Yes, sir.
therefore, why you think these coaches brush JUCO under the rug, or these coaches are not invested in every kid? You know, I can remember, man. You know, hearing stories of coaches. It's a few I heard stories about that was investing in every kid. You know what I mean? Even if they weren't where they needed to be, they worked with them all summer. You know, even if their parents couldn't play for camps, you know, they sent some of them camps off their own dime. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So why do you think these coaches are not invested with every kid on the team?
Coach, uh, to be honest, I think that some of these coaches, I mean, because they know, you know what I'm saying? I think they know which kids are big time. They know which kids are kind of like, you know, and I think that they cling themselves to the big time kid to be like, yeah, I put that kid out, or yeah, like I helped this kid get to where he needed to be too, and you know now I'm going to reap the benefits of it, or I'm going to get a job from it because I do know some coaches that are like that. But to be honest, I don't know why you know some of these coaches don't push high school kids to look into JUCO. And you know the facts are the facts, and this is not because you know I know coaches that coach D2, I know coaches that coach D3, I know coaches that coach NAI, but I get tired of seeing how everybody ranks it out. They go, oh, you can go D1, D2, D3, NAI, and then JUCO is down at the bottom. In my opinion, it goes D1, it goes JUCO, D2, D3, NAI. In my opinion. And it's strictly because the opportunity that the kid gets to propel himself and put himself on a platform to be able to go be successful. He gets to get more tape. He gets to get coached hard. He gets to come from nothing and then go from, you know, seeing, you know, 4 racks in the weight room to now he's seeing this big weight room and now he's more appreciative. I think, in my opinion, that more kids should go JUCO because, you know, these D2s, they're giving out $2,000-$3,000 scholarships. Okay, well, that D2 school probably costs like $50,000. What is $2-3 grand gonna do? Pale is only $3 grand a semester. Pale is only $3 grand a semester. What, they get $5 grand a semester? What, they're gonna take out loans? Loans are only $2,000. One of them is $2,000. The other one is $3,000. All right, so now they got $10,000 worth of financial aid money that ain't paying off $50,000. I don't care how you put it. I don't care how you try to finagle it. It ain't gonna do it. As compared to most JUCOs, we give books, tuition, fees. Whatever you're doing in the classroom, whatever you're taking in the classroom, we're paying for that. We're paying for your books, and your Pale will pay for your room and board. And now you're making $500-$600 back in your pocket. On top of, you get to go up against national ranked talent week after week, play after play, year after year, and get an opportunity to get re-recruited. You know, we had some guys that came from the portal. We had guys that came from high school. We had guys that told they weren't good enough. We had guys that, you know, their high school coaches weren't pushing them enough. And, you know, they all reap the benefits of it. And, you know, I'm so proud of what we've done at Trinity Valley because we're best chance you. You know, everybody says, lad, we're the best chance. You will have a better opportunity coming to us and getting out to where you want to go to after a year, maybe 2 years. And then on top of that, let's say that you don't get the D1 dream, because not everybody can go D1. A D2 school is more prone to offer more money to a JUCO kid than he is a high school kid. And that's facts. Because they're going to come in, they're going to look at, okay, well, this kid played for a year. He played for a year, 2 years. A year starter, was a backup his first year, started the next year. They're going to give him $20-30 grand off rip. Well, that's better than a $2,000, $3,000 scholarship to start off with coming out of high school. So why not take a chance on yourself to better enhance your stock? And I think just a lot of these high school coaches aren't pushing these kids and telling these kids that JUCO is a way cheaper, way more efficient, and way better route than it is to going to D2, going to D3, going in AIA, and then trying to jump in the portal. Because how I see it is, you're jumping in the portal, you're running from something. Whether it be competition, whether it be you done did something, whether it be homesick, whatever, you're running from something if you jump into the portal. Why not come JUCO, come thug it out for a year, and there you are. You got everything made.
Okay. Icon?
Yeah, so let me hear this right. So Caleb Williams hasn't declared yet?
No, sir. He has not declared. He has like a week until he can declare. So supposedly there's a report that came out that if the Bears can't tell him straight up that they're going to trade away the number 1 overall pick, then he's going to return to college. That's what just dropped today.
So in other words, Chicago.
Yeah, he don't want to go to Chicago.
Well, he can come on.
Yeah, he's from the DMV, man. From what I've heard, he's from out there, and I think he's from Maryland, if I ain't mistaken.
He's from Maryland.
And the thing is, they don't got to trade away the pick. To be honest with you, because matter of fact, I was in the airport yesterday with a Bears fan, and I didn't even realize they got the number 1 and the number 9 pick. So really, if they wanted to, I would go ahead and maybe get like a Marvin Harrison. You know, they need another weapon, you know, a big time weapon. So I'll maybe go get Marvin Harrison Jr. if they want to decide. Because, you know, my understanding of you know, the reports is that that Eberflus, that they kept Eberflus, and he's a big Justin Fields guy. So he wants to keep Justin Fields. And I would say, you know, just stockpiling with more weapons. Give him a Marvin Harrison Jr. They can grow together. They can develop that chemistry, and that can be his guy. That, you know, his that could be his Jerry Rice or whatever. You know, that could be his, you know, his Marvin Harrison to his Peyton Manning. So that's the route I would go. But so a question I also got to ask is, and I've just been bothering me for the last couple of weeks is, and maybe you can explain this, is I don't understand the whole thing of transferring from school to school, whether it's on the basketball level, football level. If you're already getting significant playing time, if you're one of the guys, the go-to guys, I'm not understanding these quarterbacks is jumping ship, and they was just the guy last year. Like I want to say the quarterback from, is it Ohio State is leaving?
Yeah.
And a couple ones that left their schools, and I'm like, I'm not understanding what's going on right now. So can you please explain to me what this is all about?
Coach, to be honest, I really have no idea, but this is kind of my hunch, kind of my belief on it, is that there's a lot of tampering going on in college football. Whether it be the direct coach reaching out to her kid, or maybe it might be, like for the Ohio State kid, for instance, somebody from Syracuse knows his high school coach, contacted his high school coach, probably told him, hey, you need to jump in the portal. We're going to give you more money and you'll be our starter. They probably gave him a few guarantees. And so he jumped ship because they already didn't like him anyway. And, he decided to leave. A lot of these kids are just jumping ship, for money, logos, for the clout, to be honest. Me, I'm an old school guy. I grew up in the way that, hey, whatever you start, you finish. And I think just a lot of these kids, man, like we're in a new day and age where, like, I was working a camp the other day, and it was the funniest thing ever. I was like, I just want to test some of these kids' minds. I was like, hey, how many of y'all have drunk out of a water hose before, stayed outside for multitude amount of time? None of them raised their hand. They looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, that is exactly what's wrong with this generation. There's not a lot of kids aren't being pushed to do certain things and to have the qualities of, in my eyes, being a man and standing up for, standing on what you committed to. You committed to this. Now, I can understand if you aren't playing. That's different. But if you're a starter and you're trying to enter the portal, the only thing that I can think of is that you're chasing the money. Now, don't get me wrong, I get it. These kids, they deserve their money, but the amount of money that some of these kids are getting is ridiculous. And you're asking an 18, 19-year-old kid to make business decisions and make decisions for himself, where all parents are going to do and all that other stuff. They're just going to say, oh, chase the money. There's no sense of integrity. There's no sense of trust. There's no sense of loyalty. There's no sense of hard work, dedication. There's no sense of any of that. And so, I think that just college football is changing, but hopefully my dream is to one day be the head coach of the University of Texas. And, I'm still going to coach the old school way. I'm still going to coach my way, because I'm not going to let, some money and, stuff like that ruin this game and ruin why I fell in love with the game. I can't live with that. If a kid wants money from me, hey, we're JUCO, we're small time. You got to come get it out the mud, man. We ain't got much to offer, so that's why I love JUCO ball. But big time ball, man, it's crazy. Like I got a bunch of buddies that are at that level. They're losing kids all the time. Man, I had one of my kids freaking get hit up by such and such. Dang, man, for real, yeah, they're offering him $500,000. We ain't got no $500,000 NIL deal, like crazy stuff, man. So, yeah, I think that it's just kids chasing the money, kids chasing the logos, kids chasing the clout. We're giving them everything they wanted. So,
yeah. So answer me this question, and so because this is another thing that about this whole thing. Okay, bowl time comes around. I get it. Who maybe highly in the draft, first round, second round, whatever. I get they don't want to play in the bowl game, risking injury, whatever. I get that part. You know what I'm saying? But the player who is going to transfer from school to school. So I'm a big Miami Hurricanes. I didn't know that Tyler Van Dyke was able to transfer, knowing that our backup quarterback got hurt throughout the year. So basically, he was really the only quarterback on the roster. We actually had to get, I think they had to get a waiver for the third string quarterback to play, or pretty much talk him into playing, because he had already redshirt. And I guess he's still going to be at a redshirt, but they allowed him to play in the bowl game. So, of course, at that point, I said, we probably going to win this, because we already got other players leaving. So this is my whole question. I believe if you come to a school, y'all get to a bowl game, and if you transfer, okay, that's your prerogative. But I think you should have to play that whole thing out, your commitment out, like you said about being committed. Play that bowl game, because you're gonna leave. You leaving anyway. You're still in college, so whether you get hurt now, it may happen. So I don't see why you shouldn't have to at least play in that bowl game before you dip to another school?
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. This bowl season was crazy, man. Seeing all the guys sitting out, or I'm not competing in the bowl because I'm transferring and all this other stuff. Like, I get why some of the guys don't, because they want to get on campus at their other spots. But I'm right along with you, man. Like, if you signed with the school, how I see it is, if you want to transfer, they shouldn't open up the transfer portal until the end of the season. Because now you're giving the kids too much leeway. And then it goes back to them not understanding authority, not understanding, certain things in life that you're supposed to walk and abide by. They don't understand those things, because now it's just a free world for all of them. Like, shoot, nowadays, if you curse a kid out, there's a problem, and so now, man, it's crazy how it is. But I agree with you. I think that if you start off the season, you're supposed to finish the season.
Mm-hmm.
There is no in between. There is no, like, you can quit, but like the whole transfer portal deal opening up mid-season, that's just bad business to me. The NCAA needs to change that. They need to push that back to the end of the season, and they need to start holding some of these players' feet to the fire and start showing them, like, this is how it is in real life. Because in real life, there ain't no such thing as a transfer portal.
Because I think
you can't transfer out of your life and go to a whole different life. You can't transfer out of your situation and go be in a happier situation. You can't do that. And so a lot of these kids, like, I hate it for them, because I'm gonna just keep it real. They're gonna grow up, and whenever something bad goes wrong, they're gonna be quick to jump ship. God forbid if there's a kid involved, they're gonna jump ship. They're gonna leave the kid because they were never taught accountability and standing on the things that you're supposed to be standing on and believing in. And, I hate it because people don't see it that way. People just see it as football. No, it's more than that. It's life experiences. It's life lessons that you have got to be taught. There's life lessons that you're going to learn while playing this game. And, being able to let a kid to just up and leave, like, that's insane to me. And then they come up with all these, oh, well, he has to put in a waiver for this, or he has to put in a waiver for that, but the waiver ends up going through. And I'm like, it makes no sense, and then again, I'm all for the student athlete, because every kid doesn't come from the same cloth. But I do believe in that kids should be held accountable, because this generation that we're living in, this generation that's coming up, they ain't never been held accountable a day in their life, man.
Mm-hmm. And see, another thing I think what it does too is, one, it's you're not standing with your teammates. So now you don't understand how it is to be a teammate, because you just oh, it's all about me. And two, we asking fans to come out to these bowl games, pay their hard earned money, and they're not even able to watch the players that they rooted for all season long. So
Exactly.
Now a poor product out on the field, and you want me to watch these teams. And a lot of times, some of these bowl games is two teams that really don't even have no business playing each other. Like I was saying, like let's say you was watching a Washington State against a Duke. No offense to neither one of those teams, but in your mind, if you're a football fan, do you really want to see that game? And then that's two different teams across the country, and then on top of that, I'm watching third string players on the field against each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like I'm watching a preseason game. Two teams on it. So I think it's just that along itself. And see, another thing I was going to ask you too was, so when they were talking about Nick Saban retiring, and they said one of the reasons why he retired, I want to say it was Stephen A. Smith and they were talking about yesterday, and they said one of the reasons why he retired is because I think it was him and Paul Feinbaum. They said because he had a number one receiver that was supposed to come to his team last year, and the player was basically asking for an astronomical number for the NIL, and Nick Saban just didn't feel comfortable paying that player triple the amount or whatever it was that he was paying other players on the team. So he allowed the player to walk and go somewhere else, and he ended up being. They never said the player's name, but he ended up being somebody that pretty much everybody. Even Nick Saban was like, if he would have been on my team, we probably would have won the national championship last year. If I would. Yeah, that's how good it was. So in your mind, and he said, and another reason why he didn't want to do it, and this kind of goes to you as a coach. He said, so how I'm supposed to coach a player that I know that's making $3 or $4 million or whatever he's going to be making for that season? How can I coach that? So what is your thoughts on that?
That is exactly why I'm in the position that, you know, that I'm in, and how I feel the way that I feel, because the NFL is the NFL. It's the league, right? That's what even as a little kid, that's what every little kid, if they played football, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to go to the NFL. Well, there's certain steps that you got to take. You got to work hard. You got to bust your ass, all this other stuff. Well, now these kids are making, you know, $5 million, $4 million. Well, how it goes back to what you're saying. How can you tell a kid that's making $4 or $5 million, hey, you need to do this, hey, you need to do that? He already got his money.
Mm-hmm.
He already got the check. And then if you're hard on him, or if you dig into him, guess what he's going to do? Transfer portal. And then he's going to go get that same exact money somewhere else, on top of the money that you had to pay him out because he signed for it. It's a contract. You know what I'm saying? So he signed for that money. So you're paying him out. It pretty much turns into the league. And that's what I hate the most, because college football is college football. Force them to go earn it. You put into a position, force them to be put into a position to where, hey, you want to go make $4 or $5 million? You go make that. You got to go earn that money. You got to go earn that right. It's not going to be given to you. And, you know, for a high school kid that's coming out of high school that's 17, 18, 19 years old, yes, do they get to change their family's life? Yes, they do. Everybody's right on that. But after he changes his family's life, guess what continues to happen? I need more. I need more. I need more money. I need more money. Now you got everybody grabbing out the kid's pocket, or the kid is just like, sure, I'm finna go splurge on it with shoes and cars and all this other stuff. He already blew through the money. Now he wants more money. Well, now you're in contract negotiations in college football. Like that's not right to me. That's not right. Now, how I viewed the NIL, how I was thinking, I was like, okay, you know, on top of a kid's stipend, I say give him like $3,000-$4,000 a month. On top of the stipend, you know, he get a little $3,000-$4,000, $5 million. That's crazy. You can't expect for a kid to go and handle his business with $5 million. He's 17, 18, 19 years old. He don't know a lick about financial advising. He's probably a first-generation college student. His mom, dad, grandparents, whoever it may be, they probably come from poverty, you know. And then so now they don't really know how to handle that type of money. And so now you're putting yourself in worse positions. You're putting the kid in a worse position than what he already was coming out of high school.
Yeah,
because he ain't learned nothing.
Yeah, because we get up. It's the thing about it, what people don't realize is that a lot, even as adults, when these players get to the NFL, the NBA, they got so many people tugging on them and begging for money and doing that. So they spread out off the field just as much they are on the field because they got all these responsibilities at home to take care of, and people. So as a kid, how you supposed to deal with that? And it's another thing you talk about accountability. And I'm gonna give it back to Jacob. Is that when you talk about most of the money's really supposed to go towards your likeness. So whatever you're supposed to do something for, you're supposed to be in somebody's commercial. You're supposed to do something for it, or you're on a billboard or something. Most of these players, like Shannon Sharp talks all the time. We don't never see these players do anything for the money other than on the field. They supposed to do more than they're supposed to, like be a brand ambassador for a car company or something. They don't even live up to that. They don't even force them to do that part. They just give them the money.
Yes. And man, like, I think the only person that I've seen like on an actual commercial from college football, like do their actual commercial is who was it? Spencer Rattler for Canes. Like I seen him in a few Canes commercials. But other than that, I don't see no I don't see like no Caleb Williams on no Ford commercial. I don't see none of these guys on commercials or anything like that, or on magazines, or you know what I'm saying, like likeness of the car.
I just seen Caleb Williams on a Wendy's commercial not long
Yeah,
ago.
I was about to say. I think I seen Caleb. I think I seen Caleb Williams on. I couldn't remember what it was, but I knew. Yeah, you're right. It was a Wendy's commercial. I seen him on. Did we lose? Oh, yeah. Did we? Okay, but yeah. So yeah, he's right. He'll come back. We'll get him back in a minute. But yeah, he's right about that. You know, I just don't understand. I don't understand the whole like the portal NIL, the transfer thing. I don't understand what they're really doing with it, other than the kids deserve the money. Don't get me wrong. These kids deserve this money.
Not $5 million, they don't.
But
no.
Not when you're a freshman coming out of high school and you get, like you say, $5 million. They shouldn't be getting that kind of. You should get more money.
No kid in college deserves $5 million.
No, not players.
You mean to
Yes,
tell
sir.
me
Sorry.
Brock Purdy makes this year $872,000. The quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
First place team.
First place team. the best team in the league for real. You know what I mean? I don't like them. I hate their guts because I'm Cowboys Nation all day, every day. But $872,000 and you mean to tell me Shedeur makes $2.7 million. Arch Manning makes $1.7 million.
And he didn't got on the field. He didn't got on the field.
And
Not even
Caleb
on the
Williams
field.
makes about 1.9 million. Like, you know, like and for real, man. If people know how much Angela Reese and Project Johnson make in NIL money, they'll scratch their head, bro. I think Angela Reese was the highest paid NIL player. I think 3.7 million, and I think Project was like 1.6 million. You know what I mean?
And did he get a record deal too? Did he get a bag for a record deal too?
Yes, Jay-Z gave her 1.5 million to sign with Rock Nation.
Yeah.
Cause for real, she cold at that music. I ain't gonna front. She cold. She cold, man. She like a female J. Cole, for real. So I'm just saying, Brock Purdy, man, 800. Like I'm just.
It's not adding up, man.
I'm just looking like man. I'm not saying that these players don't deserve some money, bro, because it's their blood, sweat, and tears, and they put fans in the seats and all that. But for a player to be 19 years old and already worth $2.7 million, it has never ever even hit the NFL football field yet. And then you don't have any restrictions on when they can transfer. So
exactly,
if I can coach for University of Miami and he give a player $750,000 and it don't go his way and he transfer again, in the next team he telling me, well, this what they gave me over there, so if you want me to come here, I need 1.2 million. Okay. And so then he might not get along with that coach and he can transfer again and get another 1.5 million. Like, so what are we doing here?
Yeah. He didn't already made his rookie contract salary. After 4 years, he already got his rookie contract out of the way. You know what I'm saying?
And then I just want to talk to you guys about, you know, when we was growing up, man, we looked forward to the bowl games. You know what I mean?
Bowl season was the best season.
You know, I don't really look forward no more, man, because you got, you know, the Oscar Mayer Bologna Bowl. You know, you got the Boiled Peanut Bowl. You know, man, you got Grandmama Coconut Pie Bowl. You
Dollar General Bowl.
You know, man, you like get out of here, man. You know, you got
they might have Magic City Strip Club Bowl in a minute.
Yeah, man, you got the Gravel and Dirt Road Bowl. I mean.
Yeah, you got a lot of bowl games out there, man.
But for what though, man? For what? It's not even interesting, man. Like, it's not interesting at all.
in my opinion, how I see it is that these bowl games need to be taken away. Like a lot of them need to be taken away. Because how I feel about it is, if you're a loser, you're a loser. If you win, you win.
Yeah.
If you won, okay, you deserve to be in the bowl game. But now they're making it to where these 6-win teams are able to get into a bowl game. But this coach that coached his tail off just to get 9 wins, he's coaching in 1-2. But now you're giving it like now it just feels like that it's more so of like a participation trophy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Celebrate for participating with a 6-6 record.
Yeah, like no, you should not. If you got 6-6, if you got 7-5, you should be on the couch sitting at home. Because I know whenever we don't have very many bowl games, and we went 7-3 and we didn't get a bowl game, we have to sit on the couch. But it teaches us, hey, we got to go harder. When these kids they go to like Bowling Green, they win 6 games. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. We're happy about 6 games. And we're awarding these kids with a bowl game. No, get off in their weight room, bro. Yeah, it's man.
Listen. I'm gonna say this. I remember when I was in high school. If you didn't have a winning record, you didn't make the playoffs. Now they got it. They saying that every team deserves to have experience of a playoff game. No, you don't.
No.
And I was like, what? I was like, everybody playoffs. I was like, that don't even make any sense whatsoever. That's rec ball. That's like when you play rec ball and they have a tournament at the end of the year. Because I remember one year I was playing rec ball. We was terrible. I ain't going that year, and we messed around and they put in. We ended up getting to the championship game. We had one of the regular season records, but it wasn't enough teams. So you only had like 8 teams or whatever it was. So they had to put it. So they just made it a 8-team tournament or whatever it was. And we made it to the championship game and had no business being there or whatever, as terrible as we was that year, and or whatever. So, but I will say this: I think college basketball actually then got stricter as far as getting into the tournament. Because I was watching Carolina was playing somebody that I want to say it was Wake Forest, and they were saying how Wake Forest had won like 14 games in the ACC last year. Now we know back in the day, a few years ago, if you won 10 games and 10 games in your conference and 20 in the regular, that was automatic bid. Carolina won 20 games in the regular season last year, didn't get in. So they got this whole tier thing where you have to beat certain competition.
Yes.
And the master is based on your conference, how strong your conference is, and to get in the tournament. I think football need to go to sort of that same format. And I believe too, and I'm gonna say this, I think they knew this was coming because that's why they really put together that 12-team tournament. It wasn't trying to be about being fair. It was all about money, and it's all about they knew the direction football was going in, and the only way they could somewhat put a band-aid on it was to say, let's create this 12-team tournament to create some more excitement over here because we're losing all our steam over here.
Yes. And it all goes back to these kids. Like, we're doing them a huge disservice as really, I'm just going ahead and say it, as a country, man. Like, we are giving them the thought in their head that it is okay to be mediocre. We're giving them the thought in their head that it's okay to be a loser. It's okay to be at the bottom. It's okay to be a bum. Like, and a lot of these kids, like, the work ethic just ain't there anymore. As compared to back in the day where you had to grind for that scholarship. Nowadays it seems like everybody gets a Division I offer, right? Back then, it was like rare that, if your homeboy was going Division I, it was like dang near he was going to the league back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your homeboy gets a Miami offer, you're like, oh, well, you finna go to the league. Like, you good, you're golden. As compared to now, 5 kids in one town got the same exact offer. And then, a lot of people don't know about this either, is that, a lot of these coaches are throwing out uncommittable offers. Offering a kid early, saying, yeah, you got an offer from us, but then ghost them 2 weeks later.
Wow.
They just wanted to offer him because he was in the air. So every coach has a board. They have a recruiting board. And let's say that if the kid was in the top 10 and they met as a staff, hey, we're going to offer our top 10 guys, but we're only going to take the commitment of the top 5 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 guys got an offer, but only 5 of them can commit to that offer. That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And so now it forces all. That's where the transfer portal and all that stuff comes in. It is because these kids think they got offers, but then they don't, and then they try to commit, and then they can't. And so it's a crazy world that we live in, man. Not gonna lie. Shoot, I ain't gonna lie. There was a point in time where I thought about freaking, just being like, man, is this coaching stuff for me anymore? Because the demographic has changed. But one thing that I can say is that I've done a good job at recruiting and finding the right guy with the right mindset, what I'm looking for. Like I know, like for instance, like a kid that I was watching, extremely talented, like one of the most talented kids that I've seen, but he ain't have the right mind frame. He's more worried about the glitz and glamour than worried about getting his freaking hands dirty. I want guys that eat with their hands, not with freaking forks and knives. You know what I'm saying? Like I want guys that want to play this game how it's supposed to be played, making them pads clack. And man, I think just we got a bunch of pretty boys now, and it all goes back to starting off
with a fork. Who eats French fries with a fork?
What man? You want to eat French fries with a fork? You want to grab one fry at a time? Nah, I want to see your fingers greasy. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the salt on your fingers after you get done eating, man. So,
Coach, I ain't gonna tell you no story, man. I ain't gonna tell you no story, man. I ask kids all the time, man. Y'all play backyard football growing up? Like I said, we used to have a game called Bad Man Pick It Up. Pick up that ball if you want to.
Yeah.
Somebody clock gonna get clean.
Yeah, we call it pitch up tackle.
Yeah, so these.
I was called Smear the Quill.
Oh yeah, Smear the Quill. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't call it no more, but that's what it was called.
That we called it that too. I was just trying to keep it,
Yeah.
Right. And then, man, I don't know, man. I'm not a fan on 7-on-7. I'm not a fan of traveling ball, bro, because I know kids that their second year of college, if they've been playing this traveling ball since they was 7, 8 years old, they be burnt out by the time it's their sophomore year of college and they don't want to play it no more. I've talked to several kids like that, bro.
Yeah.
Several kids like that. Like I got a little homeboy, man. He probably been playing traveling baseball since he was 5 years old, man.
Tired. That's a lot of games.
And listen, man, and he told me, he said, man, I'm going to the 12th grade. I don't know if I love the game no more, man. I said, man, you got every college in the world looking at you, and you got pro scouts. He said, just to do this for the rest of my life, and then he was like, man, my parents be on me so hard, man, but they love it. I don't love it like they love it. So
think about this, Jacob, and think about this, Leo. When we grew up playing sports, everything has a season. Even now, in college, in high school, or in pros, it has seasons. You got your football in your fall, you got your basketball in the winter, you got your baseball in the spring and the summer.
Yep.
So we need to go back to that with these kids, especially baseball is where they get burnt. That's why a lot of the black kids, especially when they get to that age, like you say, 11th, 12th grade, I've had 3 nephews that all play baseball. And that all 3 of them burnt out before they even got to high school. All 3. Because like you say, they play all year long. They play baseball all year long. So they get burnt out. You know what I'm saying? All 3 of my nephews burnt out before they got to high school. So my thing is go back to baseball where it's just played in the season it's supposed to be played in, spring and summer, and allow these kids to have a childhood. Because if I'm going from football to basketball to baseball or whatever, and all I'm doing is playing organized sports all year long, when do I have time to just be a child and play, hang with my friends and have that time, my time? They deserve that time. Just like adults deserve their time. The kids deserve their time.
And not only that, Icon, These adults go broke trying to do this traveling ball and AAU ball, man. When they
Mm-hmm.
tell me how much money they spend in one summer with, like, I know several basketball parents, right? When they tell me how much money they spend in one summer in AAU basketball, man, I be
Mm-hmm.
like, ain't no way. Ain't
Yeah.
no way, bro. Cause you're traveling from probably April all the way until like the first week in August, cause school about to let in. You know what I mean? And they telling me, man, that it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all summer long, man. And they say they know they spend like anywhere from $300 to $500 every weekend. What?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have a sponsor, or somebody for those organizations or that team, then the coach is a lot of time coming out of his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Trying to pay for all of this. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just had my boy Jason Jones on or whatever. He talked about, he's all every year he's doing fundraising or he's coming out of his pocket to make sure that these kids got what they need or whatever, just to be able to get them some pizza after a game or whatever. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is, pay for their hotel rooms and for transportation and new uniforms when they need them and all that kind of stuff. That's why I always say that, neighborhoods. That's why I've always been big on if you have a business in a neighborhood, it should be part of your contract that you have to give back a certain amount, or you have to give back a certain amount back to the community as far as for the youth in the community and for the or whatever. So because if we spending our hard earned money at the local mom and pop restaurant or gas station or clothing store,
Yeah.
and you just taking, what are you giving? So I think you should all be obligated to spend. You got to be an astronomical amount. Give $400-$500, 1,000, something back to the communities for these. You allow them to say, okay, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick the South Carolina blah 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 team. Little league team, basketball, football, whatever team, and I'm gonna sponsor them for the year or something. But you should have to give something back to the community, especially when it comes to the youth.
Right, right.
Yes. Yes,
So,
sir.
Coach, let me ask you this: how hard has it been for you guys to get sponsorship and endorsement deals?
Um, I mean, like we're sponsored and endorsed by Nike and stuff like that. Like it's not really hard on the college scene, to be honest with you. Um, it's just more hard to get like
So,
donors,
so when I
like
say
get people putting back
when I
into
say
the
sponsored,
program.
Nike make a lot of clothing.
Uh-huh.
Adidas make a lot of clothing, but is it they're just branding your clothing, or is they giving you? Cause JUCO deserves their own line from
Hmm.
Nike, Converse, Adidas, K Swiss, New Balance, because there's so many of them out there, man. So when
Hmm.
when I hear people say, "Well, we get sponsored," so is they sponsoring the clothes and they cutting a check, or it's limited to
No.
what they gonna sponsor because it's JUCO?
Yeah, so we've tried a few times to kind of get the whole cutting the check part at Trinity Valley going, but really they're just sponsoring the clothing, to be honest, and we're buying the clothes. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like
so
we're
so it's, so if you buying the clothes, it's really not sponsoring.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, it's not it's nothing crazy like that. But I mean every JUCO is different. Like I've been some places where there ain't no money. I know here at Trinity Valley, we don't really pretty much hurt for money or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Just because we've had a rich tradition of guys that have come in and left. People that and really people in Athens, Texas, really support Trinity Valley football and support Trinity Valley as a whole. And
Mhm.
so, there's money that's always flowing through like people like donors and stuff like that, like people
Right,
writing
right,
checks,
right, right.
but not like from no big program like Nike or anything like that. Nah.
Okay, okay, okay. And so, what is something that you want to say to athletes that's coming out of high school right now? Like this is their last year. They trying to find somewhere to go play ball, and they just have got frustrated because they haven't heard anything back from any schools yet.
What I would say to every athlete that's coming out of high school that ain't got nowhere to go, that doesn't know what their next move is, that feel like that maybe they're not good enough, probably feel like they're not fast or strong enough, be patient and look into other options. There's a school out there for everybody. Not everyone is going to be able to play Division I ball. Not everyone's destiny is to be a Division I football player. But if you truly love this game, if you truly are a competitor at heart, then you'll look into JUCO, and it's eat or be eaten. You bet on yourself. So every high school athlete out there that's looking for somewhere to go and feel like they're being overlooked, come JUCO, and then we'll see if you're really being overlooked or not.
Heard that.
He sound like Suge Knight come to death row the way he said that. He had me scared. But they ain't want me to go.
Hey, I'll be trying to be as real as possible, man.
Hey,
Some of these
I
guys,
feel you,
they think that this is a university and everything, but it ain't.
One more question for you.
Yes, sir.
And me and my brother, I couldn't go back and forth about this. The running back, man. The running back of the NFL is the most. It's treated coldly more than any other player, man. They act like the running back of the NFL is pure D trash. They act like they can go in the liquor store and find another running back.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm a running back coach, and even us running back coaches, like, we even get treated cold too, because like, y'all got the easiest position to coach. But if you ain't got that dog mentality at running back,
back up, coach. Mm-hmm. How is this easy position to coach? And out of all the positions on the football field, I mostly hear people who play running back have trouble walking, can't stand on their legs for a long time, have to get 3-4 surgeries. Not when they playing ball, but even after they stop for 15, 20 years.
Yeah. People say that it's the easiest position to coach because they're just like, oh, just line up, tell them which hole to hit, and that's what it is. They don't see the constant. Well, some running back coaches, they do that. I've seen that in some places. I know at my place, I know in my room, BOMB. Now we're gonna watch that film. There is no such thing as just running through a hole and, oh, this is the hole. No, like, you got to go be a football player. I'm coaching their eyes, coaching their feet, coaching their cuts. I know in our room you only get one cut, and then after that it's smash mode time. Whoever in front of you got to get it. And I think that's why a lot of people are saying, oh, the running back position is so easy, because nowadays you see guys that are from receiver going to running back and all, but they're not. People don't understand that you got to run through a hole first. You got to pick a hole. On top of, you got 4 D linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 DBs, 4 DBs coming after you. Mm-hmm. That is hard. And people think that, oh, well, you can just put anybody back there. I know in my experience, putting anybody back there will dang near get you fired. And for me,
I'm glad you said that, Coach. I'm glad you said that, because I tell people all the time, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we might like Tony Pollard, but Tony Pollard is a receiver. He played receiver his whole life. Mm-hmm. So, and you can tell that. And you can tell the difference.
Dog mentality, man.
Right. And you can tell the difference between a healthy Ezekiel Elliott and a healthy Tony Pollard. It's not even close, bro. It's not even close. So I just feel like people, just cause you are fast and you elusive, you don't belong at running back. That's not what it is, man. A running back is a trained warrior, man.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
A trained warrior. Thank you. Yeah, see, Jacob, I need you to be in my meetings, man, because whenever I tell my kids this, I mean, they follow with it afterwards, but they look at me like I'm crazy.
A trained warrior, man.
Yeah, because I preach to them. It's like, you're a gladiator, man. Like, you are looking to physically harm people. There is no other choice. There is no other choice. You lay down people before they lay you down.
So it's 2 gladiators on that field. That's a running back and that's that middle linebacker.
That's what made Derrick Henry. That's what made Jim Brown. That's what made John Lynch, that's what made those players who they were, because it was, hey, okay, if you don't hit me, if you don't come at me correct, you about to be embarrassed. And
Yes.
another thing too is nothing you can't teach a running back. You can't teach instinct, and you can't
Nope.
teach a Barry Sanders type player or a Walter Payton knowing how
Mm-hmm.
to at the right time for a player to miss you. It's been a lot of players we all know over the 50 years or whatever football that had a
Yes.
4.43 speed. But the great ones had that difference thing in them, that they understood the position, and the certain things they did that was better than everybody else. It wasn't just because they
Yes.
had, it's because it's that instinct, that dog in them, that know
Yes.
to do certain things on the field. That that LaDainian Tomlinson, those type of players that had several different skills. You can't even
Mm-hmm.
teach a player not to fumble the ball. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that's lost in football too. We got too many running backs that don't even know how to hold on to the ball.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. And I know with my guys, we ain't fumbled in a while. It's been back-to-back years, 0 fumbles. But um, I know, I know for my guys, man, they fumble that ball. You might not see that ball ever again for a few weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cutthroat. But I always build up my room to where I have 3, 4 guys that at any given moment it's go time. And this past year I was blessed. I had some really good tight ends. I had some really good running backs, and they were all just smash mouth, like gritty, dirty, like dogs, man. Like, and I'm gonna miss this group the most because they loved contact. Like they were those type of guys that I'm gonna go hunt you down, I'm gonna lay you down, I'm gonna get back up, and I'm gonna do it again,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna keep on doing it until you get tired of it. Like I had coaches coming up to me, man, like after games, coach, your running back group got to be the most physical group that we like. Dudes limping off the field. Oh yeah, we're gonna get that work in, but that's just how it is, and it sucks because later on down the line, like yes, like they gotta have surgeries and all that stuff, but man, it's just something about in between the lines whenever you see your guy get the ball and it's just mano y mano and he's gonna win, it's easy. And I
I
agree
tried.
with you too, Jacob, is that with the Tony Pollard deal, like the one run that he had against the Bears, Zeke Elliott scores. Zeke runs over that dude and gets into the touchdown. Pollard is trying to like wiggle his way and trying to finesse. No, go forward and go smash this dude for 1 yard and go get the touchdown. Well, dude grabs him and pulls him out of the end zone. And then y'all fumble the next play ball game. Puts y'all in
Yeah.
a bad position, And so I think everybody is so, glitz and glamored with speed. I'm an old school guy. I watch Mike Allstott, Marshawn Lynch, like
The bus.
Down Dirty. Yeah, the bus. Like I watch those type of cats. Those
All
are the type of running backs that I look for. If you a
right.
small 5'9" guy, 175, and coach, I can do anything. I can run
And
past
coach,
everybody. That ain't how it
I'm
goes.
I'm so glad that you are old school running back coach, cause I had this high school coach I was talking to. I said, man, how you do that running back position? Oh, we do pretty good. I said, what type of techniques you teach? He said, what that mean? I said, while you're practicing and y'all going hard in practice, do you make your running backs wear ankle weights? He's like, what? I was like, I said, okay, conversation over. Because I know for me, when I was
Mhm.
growing up, every running back had ankle weights on in practice.
Getting it
So,
in.
and
Pick
people
them up,
used
put them
to,
back down.
right, and people used to think, why them boys so light on their feet like that? But cause when you wear them, when you wear them ankle weights in practice all week and during the game, man, you got some new jets on your feet.
Oh yeah, you feel good.
Yeah,
I know for my guys to get them going for practice and really get them going for games, we I started this because one of my tight ends, man, like a few years ago, he just would not get nasty in blocking. So I put him up under one of the little chutes, like one of the little sled things. And so we created what we call the gauntlet now. Everybody got to get off in there. It's mano y mano. It's just straight up, head up. There's probably about an inch of room. Mano y mano. Fire off the ball, hit each other. And this is pre-practice. We'll go through that probably about 10 times. Everybody gets reps. We're going. By then, once we get into practice, everybody got
Everybody fired
it
up.
eventually, yeah, everybody fired up. Pads been clacking. And, I know for me, all the guys and stuff, whenever they're walking out for practice, we're already out there. So it kind of gets the guy, like the rest of the team, fired up. I believe that the running back is the heart and soul, is not heart and soul. O-line is the heart and soul. The running back is the tone setter. However your running back run, if he run with some shit in his neck, oh yeah, okay, I see what type. It makes everybody else just get excited because they like, okay, if he can do it, I know I can do it.
Like I tell
And
people all the time, if you didn't like Clinton Portis as a running back, you a hater. Clinton Portis ran with the most jacked up attitude in the world, bro. Like you can tell like he had an attitude when he cut. He had an attitude when he run you over. He had an attitude when he stiff armed you. Like I like running backs who got that grit, that got an attitude. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And think about this. Think about what you seen more, especially I would say on the college level than anything else. Now you see where, okay, let's say I'm gonna throw on first down. I don't get nothing. 2nd and 10. Now I want to rely on that running back to get me 4 or 5 yards, so I won't be on that long down and distance on that third down. So now it's kind of like, hey, I'm only gonna use my running back when I'm in trouble to get the extra yards that I lost because the passing game not working. Let's give it to this running back that can get us 5 or 6 yards and maybe get the whole team by himself. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of those things. It's like they just kind of treat the running back like any old thing, like like he the side chick on the team.
Yeah, man. And I'm blessed to be in this position where I'm at Trinity Valley because we treat the running backs like, I don't never tell them that they're good or anything like that because I don't never want them feeling themselves and shit. But, that's what we rely on. These past 2 years, that was our bread and butter, running backs and tight ends. We're going to put 2-3 tight ends on the field, create some extra gaps. All that 7-on-7 that y'all been playing, you know what I'm saying? We going to see if y'all 7-on-7 guys really about this tackling life. We're going to see if y'all really want to get down off of them trenches. That's why, to me, I hate 7-on-7. I hate it with a passion because it teaches nobody how to just be a football player and go tackle. Everybody think that, I can just backpedal, I can look pretty. Okay, but whenever that 230-pound running back running through the hole and he's 6 foot and he's steamrolling, is that backpedal going to help you then? Yeah, is that backpedal going to help you whenever a tight end is running full speed at you trying to bury you? Nah, we playing football. We ain't playing flag football. This is football. Old school, nasty.
And tight ends need to know we gonna see what you made of when them defensive tackles come, and when that defensive tackle put that flipper in your chest, you're gonna be able to stand tall and keep them off your running back. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I know like flipper, our guys. Boy. Yeah, that flipper is a bad, dangerous game, man. But these guys that I had this past season, I had three white boys, man. I called them the 3 Musketeers. Them boys didn't care about nothing catching the ball. They were just straight animals. I'm talking about they get hands on you, it's wraps. You're going into the dirt. Like they were blocking defensive linemen. Like I had a 6'7", 250 kid. He's an NFL guy through and through. Dude plays with so much passion, so much nastiness. Does he give me a few gray hairs every now and again? Yeah, because he's an F up every now and again. But the way how he plays the game, that's what I think a lot of kids need to watch him play football because, man, I'm telling you, he used to make some shit happen. I'm talking about we'll be running, the hole be kind of tight. He get to expand in that gap. Over with, wraps. Let's go get this money.
Let's go get this money.
Let's go get this money.
I appreciate you coming over tonight, man, and giving us your time. I apologize.
Yes, sir.
I just got off the plane and I have been driving for 2 days straight. Almost.
Yes, sir.
So I was exhausted. That jet lag hit me, and by the time it was over with. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I appreciate you giving us the time. Shout out to Kimmy. We see you, Queen. Gorillas Global Network, 181 countries, 10 radio stations. Our girl Tiffany Real, she be on the road all the time too over there at She Real Radio. So that's another platform for us in T-Dub Entertainment. For everybody, tomorrow we're gonna be in Charlotte at the business conference, music and business conference in Charlotte at I think it's Piedmont Central College, I think Community College, I think that's called.
Yeah.
Out there. So we're gonna be out there tomorrow and Sunday, or whatever. We're probably even gonna do some
Yes.
live footage out there, so y'all can see what we got going on and how 95 South and 910 Sports and all that get down. So we definitely gonna be out there, networking in the city. So, but anyway, appreciate everybody for coming on and everybody for checking us out tonight. And I hope everybody enjoyed themselves and everybody have a great and wonderful weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me. Y'all take care.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Peace.
Somebody will have coming at the end. Let me read this question. This comment. It was just Kimmy. All right, yeah, we out of here.
All right, fam.
All right.
People seen it, but they just don't know.
What I told you, Cutter.
People seen it, but they just don't know. People seen it, but they just don't know.